So why do your stools float? Your stools are not supposed to float, they are supposed to sink. So the main reason why your stools float is because they are full of fat. It's the fat that you ate that your body didn't absorb. And your stools will float if they are full of fat because fat is lighter than water. So there are several reasons why that could happen to you. The first and obvious reason is because maybe you recently changed your diet and you started eating way more fat than before. And your digestive system is not adapted to that much fat, so it can digest it and you just excrete it in your feces. So this is the first reason that can happen. It doesn't mean that you have any issue with your digesting system and that you have any issue absorbing fat. It can just mean that you eat way too much fat. That's all. Like if you recently started a ketogenic diet, for example, and you started eating a lot more fat than you used to do, it can be the reason. So in that case, just lower the amount of fats that you consume for the moment. And little by little, your body can adapt and be able to digest more fats over time. But right now, you should lower the amount of fat you consume because anyway, this fat you eat, you just waste it because it goes into your toilet and it doesn't nourish you. So this is the first reason. It can be just because you eat too much fat. Another reason can be because you have an issue absorbing fat, because you have an issue in one of your digestive organs. Usually, it will be an issue with your liver, with your gallbladder, with your pancreas, or with your intestine, or all of them. So why the liver? Because it's the job of your liver to make bile. So bile is an emulsifier. That means that bile will emulsify the fat you eat. That means that it breaks down the fat in smaller molecules so that these smaller molecules can be broken down even further by the enzyme lipase. Okay, so that's the role of bile. So bile is made in your liver. If your liver doesn't make enough bile, that can cause fat malabsorption and therefore your stool that floats in your toilet. So why would your liver not produce enough bile? It can be because of many different reasons. It can be because you are a vegan or a vegetarian. It can be because you have damaged your liver in numerous ways. It can be because of too much alcohol, too much drugs. It can be because of too much stress. There can be several reasons for that. If you have an issue with your gallbladder, that can be another reason why you have fat malabsorption. So the role of your gallbladder is to store fat and to release this quite large amount of fat when you have a fatty meal. So why would you have an issue with your gallbladder? Usually, if there is an issue of your gallbladder not releasing enough bile, it's because of gallstones. Gallstones blocking your bile ducts. Okay, so if that's the problem you have, normally you feel it. It's very painful when you have gallstones and they are stuck in the duct. So you are supposed to feel it. You don't really need to do an exam or a scan for that. I mean, you can, but the most important will be your symptoms in that case. You will see if you have that. If you have pain in your abdomen, on the right side of your abdomen, a few centimeters on the right side of your belly button, if you have pain in that area after a fatty meal, that can be a sign of gallstones. Or if you push with a finger in that area and you have pain and it's very tender, that can be because you have gallstones. The next organ involved in the digestion of fat is pancreas. So pancreas makes enzymes, and especially the lipase enzyme. So this enzyme is supposed to break down even more the fat molecules that the bile started to break down. Okay, so why would you have an issue with your pancreas? So if your pancreas doesn't make enough lipase, it's because you have an issue with your pancreas. Okay, so why would you have an issue? The job of your pancreas is to make enzymes and to make insulin. So you will stress your pancreas too much if for years and years and years you have been eating lots and lots of cooked foods and lots of sugar. So if you want to relieve the job of your pancreas, stop eating cooked food and as much as possible eat raw food. So ideally you would want to eat kind of a primal diet where you eat everything raw. If you can't or if you don't want to, you can just do your best to eat more raw foods and less cooked food. And regarding sugar, just eat as little sugar as possible. And also you can supplement with enzymes. It will also relieve the work of your pancreas, and it will help you with fat digestion, fat absorption. And also if you have an issue with your small intestine, you can have fat malabsorption because the fat you eat will get absorbed in your small intestine. So if you have a gut disease such as Crohn's disease, for example, where your small intestine is really damaged, then of course it won't be able to absorb your nutrients correctly and your fat correctly, and therefore that's why you can end up having fat in your stools. If you have liquid stools like very liquid diarrhea, usually it will float. So that's another problem, that's another issue. It doesn't have anything to do with fat malabsorption. It's normal that if you have diarrhea, very liquid diarrhea, it stays on the top of your toilet. So that's just a momentary issue, and that's not necessarily linked to fat malabsorption. Anyway, to sum up, so point number one, if you have floating stools, maybe it's because you eat too much fat. So reduce the amount of fat that you consume, because anyway, all the fat you consume, you won't absorb it and you just waste it in your bathroom, in the toilet. So lower the amount of fat you consume. Number two, you can supplement with bile and or with lipase. It can be, again, as I said, it can be an issue with your liver and gallbladder, or with your pancreas, or both. You can try both bile and lipase and see which one works the best. From my experience, in the majority of my clients who have floating stools, the majority of them have an issue with the lipase, okay? And as soon as they supplement with lipase enzyme, their stool start to sink. Okay, so it's usually an issue with lipase. It sometimes is an issue with bile, but again, you can try both and see which one works the best. And if you have an issue with your bile, that means, as I said, that you have an issue with your liver or gallbladder or both. I have a video about that, about liver and gallbladder issues, where I give recommendations about what to do. So I will put the link under this video. And regarding your pancreas, as I said before, you can do some things to help your pancreas. And number three, if the issue comes from your gut, from your small intestine that is too damaged, you need to repair your gut. And I have many videos about that on my channel. I have also a course where I show you how to repair your gut. I will put also the link under this video. So that's it for today. I hope this video helps. I see you in the next video. Bye bye.